All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 6:00 PM. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, everybody here for that. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes of Thursday, March 6th, 2025?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of Thursday, March 6th, 2025.
I'll second it.
Oh,
Who's taking that?
Second.
Kendra. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any public input tonight? All right, going on. We don't have any legal updates or sheriff's department updates?
Nope, I hadn't heard anything from the sheriff's office, nothing new from the attorneys.
Okay. All right, can we get a motion to adjourn as council and reconvene as the equalization board?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the city council and open as the equalization board at 6:02.
I'll second it.
You got Darla for that? Or you got Nick? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, and we are adjourned to city council and convened as the equalization board at 6:02 PM. All right, so first on the list, we've got Lonnie Johnson. You guys have had a chance to look through these, correct?
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions for Lonnie?
I don't think so.
Did they assess it before your garage went down?
This, I don't know when they assessed it. To my knowledge, they weren't completely aware that the garage was gone. They were, but they kind of forgot or something, I don't know.
That's partially my fault. It happened so fast that I didn't have him take down a demo permit, which is what triggers the county assessors to know that the building came out.
Yeah, it was more, just get it out of there since it was destroyed.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So basically, that's why I'm asking for, a reassessment of my property's value is the garage is gone, and that wasn't taken into account with the 25 assessments.
Anybody else have any other questions? We need a motion then to approve or deny the request for the said property to be valued at $60,000 building value.
I guess is there a difference because you're requesting $60,000, but if you take the property minus that, it would be $64,415. It's $64,415. Value, remaining building value is
This
$64,415.
is the one that he. this
That's
is-
his request.
Right.
This is what.
Oh,
So I'm
Yeah,
asking.
So they're basically, Brandon had said that he valued the land at this and the garage at $8,247.
Correct.
I guess it's just a matter of difference of opinion on how much that garage really was worth, so. I don't think you can build a garage anywhere close to even $12,000, so, of that size. And the loss of the garage definitely hurt the property value, so.
have a question, just because I've never went through this process before, but, so do we go off of what he requested or what Brandon is,
You can,
Do we?
you can go
wiggle
anywhere.
space in between those or
Yeah.
whatever? Okay.
You can approve, if you're gonna approve a change in the assessed value, you can state that value of what you feel that
Gotcha.
it should be at.
Okay,
And then if the appellant disagrees with your decision, then they would in turn after this meeting, they would have the opportunity to appeal that with the county directly.
that cleared up for everybody? Is that the only one? Okay, so back to a motion,
Yeah, So whoever
so,
makes the motion, it would
yeah,
be
you just need to
either
say
deny
what
the request.
value.
Yeah, either deny the request outright, or if you're gonna approve it, and what value you feel it should be assessed at, whether it be the value he requested or
The
anywhere in
suggested.
between. So,
Yeah.
So it's this one that he requested.
Yes, and then the next one is in Brandon's follow-up email.
Okay.
Is there something going on with lights, or is it just me?
It's like
Yeah,
flickering.
it's flickering.
It's windy.
So, I think, plus this.
Yeah, they're just saying that we can,
Yeah.
but they understand either way, it's just a
Right.
number difference, and I was curious as to what Lonnie's justification for his number was compared to what the county said.
Yep.
I will make a motion to approve you said reevaluation or the revaluation?
Reassessed.
Reassessed value? Is that how you need it worded? Reassessed
Yeah.
value? I'll make a motion to approve the reassessed value at $68,220 with $8,220 being the land value, the rest being property value.
I'll second it.
can you state that one more time slower for me?
Sorry, I will make a motion to approve the reassessed value of the property for Lonnie at, sorry, do you need the address? 504 Iowa Street, parcel
No,
A.
just the value.
Okay, $68,220. The land value is $8,220, the rest being property value.
That means it stays the same.
Yeah.
So it would have to
Wait.
be reassessed at 60,000.
No, I'm just adding them. It would be, that's what it is.
You're stating the property instead of the building value.
Correct, so the building value would then be 60,000. The land value is not changing.
I can see the form.
Oh, gotcha. We're
So-
really goofy on this. So the value of said property should be $68,220. Total value, I think it's,
The land value
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not
it's
changing.
8,220 is the building value.
60,000.
So the building
So
value.
property value is,
Building. Property would be the entire property, so separate
the land
land
being
and building.
8,220, the property being the rest of it, 60,000.
Got that? Do you want me to
Did I do
second
that
it?
wrong?
Yep,
No, that's
Okay.
not, I just don't know what terminology.
yeah.
all right.
You
I
said
second
that?
it.
Yeah, Darla, yes, Darla seconded it. Any further discussion?
I wrote on it. No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations.
Sorry for the confusion.
Sorry that it was confusing for everyone. Alright. Alright, next up is Terry Christensen for 201 Dakota Street. questions?
Did they say anything to you why, really?
Yeah, the assessed value, it wasn't assessed in 22 because it was exempt. So in 23, they came, the county did, and they assessed it at 193,457. And then they got assessed again this year, 2024, for 280,876. That's a 45% increase, which is $87,000 for increased value of the property. I asked them just because it went into mixed use, and they said, no, that you can't change it unless you did something inside to add a kitchen or bathroom or whatnot. And the EMS already had a kitchen, it already had the bathrooms, it had the showers. All we did is haul furniture in. So we didn't do any updates other than painting. That's about a little bit of floor covering, but we didn't add any showers, we didn't add any bathrooms. Very, very limited, other than it was already pretty much move-in ready, just kind of updated a little bit. So the value went up 45%, and then mixed use, I thought because it went into mixed use is why it went up, but I've questioned them and this and that, and they're saying that it has nothing to do with the increase of 45%. Didn't add any value to the property, especially that, that
Right.
much. So that's why I'm here today. I'm just scratching my head trying to figure out. So it'd be $87,000 in 1 year, and it just concerns me if it just continues.
I'm just confused as why they told you that it wasn't based on the change of use, but then they're telling us it is based on the change of use.
I mean, I can't find anything where it's gonna raise my value unless I actually added a kitchen, added bathrooms. The value of the property is not gonna increase. If I go and have an appraisal done.
They just said the cost sheet that they're running is different because it is now in multiple use.
Correct, they split it up where actually, like, you're gonna pay taxes on the percentage of the
Correct.
part you live, and the part that is actually the warehouse part.
Yeah,
But I can't, my understanding is like, wherever I look, I can't understand where the $87,000, like, I'm not gonna get $87,000 more if I ever sold it. And I know that has nothing to do with tax value, but, it's a huge hit, 45%. It's one of the reasons why we moved into town, because it was affordable. I went down to the county last week, and they didn't really, couldn't understand it either. They had just assumed I added a shower, added a kitchen, and added kitchen cabinets, and put a bunch of value into the property. And there was really very little value added. There was no more square footage added. I don't know if anybody's been in EMS, but it was done when I bought it. So in 1 year, the value went up, and that's where it's concerning.
Well, I'm kind of wondering too if you didn't get caught in this transition, because our taxes went up a lot too. I don't know about you guys. If it was in that time.
It wasn't
frame.
just assessed in 23, I would say it is, but it was just assessed in 23. So 12 months later, they
And
raised
it
it
still goes that
$87,000.
much.
That's what
But ours-
scares me.
yeah,
If
and ours
it wasn't
went up.
assessed for 4,
Yeah.
5, 6 years, I probably wouldn't be here today. But it was just assessed a year prior. And I believe they were in there when they did assessment, because it was exempt prior, so they had to come in and
Come
do
in,
the
yeah.
measurements and all that stuff, so.
And just give you a little background from the assessor's office that they sent to all of us, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but for the city of Alcester, the entire city was given a 20% increase in the land value and a 15% increase in building value for residential, and then 20% for all commercial increased properties. I don't know if because it's commercial and residential, if that had something to do with it too, but just wanted to point that out, that not only did all residential go up, but they also did an increase on commercial properties as well. I don't know how much, if that had much to do with it or not.
They have the land value at 7,000. And the owner occupied at 98,000 and the commercial part at 175.
I would think with the way that nothing has really changed, that this is kind of out of our wheelhouse to make the decision. Obviously, like with Lonnie's, it was obvious what happened, and you can see the difference, so. Like I said before, you are able to appeal it with the county at the county level, which I think that that might be a better decision at this time. But we have to have a motion and everything, so that's these guys' idea.
I was that type of person that's gonna go to the cafe and bitch about my taxes going up. I'm gonna show up and
Right.
address it here, and that's just how
Oh,
I am.
that's fine.
No, and that's,
That's why I'm here
that's
today,
the
to
same
figure out
thing.
what do I do next.
no,
so.
that's exactly what you should be doing, but
Sometimes I think it gets just lumped into something and they don't really, they just consider everybody the same. So personally, I would like to see you appeal to them because they'd have to compare it to something. We don't.
we're not the ones that assess it,
Correct.
you know?
I believe I had to come here first, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you
Yep.
followed the right.
Chain of
Yeah.
command.
I still thought it was 15%
What's that?
for residential.
It was a 15% increase to improvements of buildings, 20% increase for land.
Well, I would make a motion that we deny your request, but you appeal to the, county. I think that just would be, and I would probably do the same thing, but
The
that's my
numbers
motion.
don't match. I mean, I don't know the building before or after besides what the outside looks like, but I really agree that the numbers don't match. I mean, if you do use what the county says that the increases were, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't quite add up. So I understand where your confusion is coming from. I just don't know with that excuse, if they're actually using those numbers in the cost sheet analysis, that there's a discrepancy somewhere between the 20 and 15, because that would put it at roughly a $37,000 increase, and yours was more than that. So I would question them more as to where it's coming from and
Yeah.
what that cost sheet, I don't have the information in what they gave us to what that cost sheet looks like for the multi-use property. And if that is what the cost sheet is, then I'm confused too.
Right.
So I just don't want to readjust it at something and I don't have that information because the numbers I get are also on it.
Definitely. Do I need something from you guys that says I was here, or is that just? do
I will
I
get
get
you,
the minutes, I'm
I'll
guessing?
get you a letter, if you wanna stop up tomorrow afternoon.
Definitely. Perfect.
So.
And I'll sign that too for you, so.
And then you'll have to write on a letter to the county board, and that has to be to them before April 1st. But I'll
Thank you
get
for
you,
bringing it to
I'll
our
get you
attention.
the,
Yeah.
I do
Appreciate that.
it.
but I'll get you,
Absolutely.
I'll get you the board's decision as in a formal letter tomorrow.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So I made the motion.
Yes.
they just
Oh,
need
sorry,
a second.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is
Thanks,
there any
guys.
further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, now Premier Bank.
Mimic what Dave said, I think commercial taxes look like they went up about 18 or 20%. I was looking at these.
They're gonna go up again in 2029.
Well, it's just assessed value. What are we talking
Yeah.
about? Taxes are what they are.
questions?
I guess I understand what you wrote on here, but can you maybe give us a little bit of insight
Sure.
as to where you're coming from?
Sure. So we have, our footprint is 10,000 square feet. It's basically a 100 by 100 building. And then we have an area which was in the basement, which was, used to be the community fitness center. That has been gone since 7 years now. And there's 3,100 square foot of that is just cold storage at this point. So, I mean, it's sheet rock, it's carpeted, but we don't use it at all. And that's part of our 13,000 square feet that I think they're coming up with valuation on. And then I looked at comparable properties on a paper that kind of looks like this. That was included in your work, so
Yep.
I tried to figure out where they came up with. So you take our 1,000,001 divided by 1,001,115 divided by 13,000 square feet, we're roughly about $85 a square foot. I tried to look at comparable properties in the county, started with Alcester. I thought maybe Alcoa office, just the office space might be, it's just office space. That's about $50 a square foot. Obviously, the manufacturing of Alcoa is totally a different deal, but I just threw it in there as an example, is 6. Total stops 32. Southeast, which is a mixed use, it's shop and office, it doesn't differentiate, is 18. So then I went over to Beersford and Jensen Insurance Agency. It's all finished office space, it's 54. Went down to, I guess I don't need to list all of those, but I tried to get some properties that are similar, and then figuring out some other communities, and then getting down into Dakota Dunes even. So, I guess I got two things that consideration, I guess I would request, and one is whether that 10,000 square feet or 13,000 can be changed to 10, but also let them know where they come up with $85 a square foot for evaluation. So if I take the average of all those other ones, that not the bottom 5, but that's all down to the dunes in North Sioux City, which is a line of its own. The other ones are about $50 a square foot. So. But obviously, some of those are wood frame buildings, some are cement frame buildings. Maybe that's where it's coming from, I'm not sure, but I just feel it's too high.
But they haven't been there since 92.
What's that?
They haven't been in there since 1992.
Oh, is that right?
The cost sheet, the last cost sheet that was ran was 1992.
Okay. That was before we actually remodeled.
All right.
That was.
You remodeled in 97?
Yeah.
Dave,
No,
was
they have
Jamie
the
given one of
building
these
permit.
too?
No, I just got that from the county. I'll give them my copy.
So, yeah, I was just gonna share this with you too, Jamie. The assessor's office shared this with us.
Drop the county.
Yeah, I look at obviously the one that I'm looking at, we're a member, but even First Savings Bank, I don't know that, I'd be honest, I'd be willing to bet that's not a correct square footage. Their footprint is 80 by 70, which would get you to that 5,600, but I'm sure they've got a second floor. I know they've got second floor windows. I've been in there one time a number of years ago. I know they've got offices upstairs, and so that's not included in that square footage, which would make that number less.
The one that sticks out to me the most on this list is the last one listed, Security National and the Dunes, which I know it's in the Dunes. But they are like 3,100 square feet less. And they're still assessed at more than Premier is. which I'm wondering if you changed it to the 3,100 square feet that you spoke about being cold storage, if that was taken out, if that would even make a difference in this case.
Can't change square footage. It's not, this is only about value. We can't do anything with square footage.
Right, but what if,
She's just talking about the math.
I'm just talking about the math and like how if First Savings Bank in Beersford does have a second floor and they're not being assessed on that square footage,
Sure.
I apologize, I'm looking at Beacon at a couple things.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I'm not trying to social media while we're talking, I'm just, I was looking at that First Dakota in El Point, is,
I guess I just don't understand how you're getting the building value at $500,000 when the building permit in 1997 for the remodel is $827,000.
Sure. So I was just looking at comparable properties and assessed value, were you asking me? Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry, I was
If you
asking
were-
you, just because,
Yeah.
and I know you might not have been a part of it, but if the building permit at that time said that the value of the property was $827,000 to build it, then why would it now be $500,000?
Well, I'm just looking at comparable properties in the county.
Okay.
And I'm looking at, trying to look at other office space. Obviously, I can't compare myself to Dakota Manufacturing or even probably Total Stop, because it's retail and it's whatever. But trying to look at other office buildings in the county, and I've got Jensen Insurance is about $54 a square foot, which I think would be very comparable. Some of this Dunham property looks like it's office space in El Point, $64 a square foot. That's where I'm taking that side as my 10,000 square feet.
And with not having commercial values changed for quite a while, I spoke with Brandon at the county assessor's office several times on it, just because I knew this would be a big question mark. They do it based on comparable sales, because assessed values are based on sales. It's a difficult one because there hasn't been many banks sold. So that's why he spoke to the director of the county equalization office, and I think in your packet is some of those comparable banks with square footage, and he kind of broke it out to square footage. We're gonna give some leeway on how they broke those out, just because there's only been the one bank that was sold in recent
National.
years, and that sold for like $6 million. Obviously, that's not a good comparable for this.
April of 2021.
Yeah, so it's a difficult situation. There's the average of those properties that the county had for banks. But it's all based on comparable sales, and this one was difficult because there haven't really been any.
I err on the side of caution with this one too, like Christensen's. You know, I think that the lack of commercial knowledge for us is difficult for us to make that decision, and we may need to also be appealed at a county level. That's my thought.
I guess I just don't
Let's get to
understand
decide.
how, if it's a sale value, if you were to sell that thing today and if the building permit was for $800,000, how it's gonna sell for $500,000. Minus land, I know the land is a different story, but that doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying that the evaluation that you were assessed at is correct, I just don't fully think the numbers match. But that's just my opinion, anybody can make a motion.
You said Security National sold for what?
Liberty National in the Dunes sold for over $6 million.
Yeah, that was the only
That was the only
comparable
comparable
sales
they
that they
had.
could give me was, back in 2021 when Liberty National, it was $6,052,000.
Yep.
But I can pretty much guess that that is not the value of the real estate, that's the
Yeah.
value of the business that went with that real
Right.
estate.
Right.
And then somebody gets to depreciate that.
And that's where it gets tricky, and that's why I talked to the county several times, because for when we're talking just residential, it's based on comparable sales, and that was the only comparable sale in recent time that they had that they could compare it to, and that was such a disparity that even when I talked to Brandon, it was like, oof. And that's why they went back to the director and kind of gave you that breakdown of square footage for the banks, because it's really all, that was all they had
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
that
closest
they could
we
give me any
get.
more information on.
Yeah.
And that's, I think I said, because obviously you're correct in saying that it is the business, it's a company that's being sold, so it's gonna look different than if you're just selling a residential home.
Mhm.
And
I do know you get hooked if you finish your basement.
You
Because
what?
I know a lot of people that don't put roofs in their basement for that reason, so they can't consider it.
Oh, finishing the basement.
Yeah, so that could be part of, because that is all finished.
Might have to do some demo.
Yeah. Rip out a ceiling, yeah. Tell my owner that's, we just have to.
Well, does someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny the request and to have it appealed to Union County for more information.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Jamie, I'll get you a
We'll
letter
get you-
tomorrow.
Is that April 1st, you said?
Yep,
Yes.
I'll get you the official outcome letter tomorrow, and then you just have to write an appeal letter to the county board and get it to them by the 1st of April.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jamie.
Thanks,
And I'll get
Jamie.
that to you by tomorrow afternoon, sir.
Sure,
thank you.
you bet.
All right, need a motion to adjourn as the equalization board and reconvene as city council.
You, Chris.
Sorry, I'll make a motion to adjourn as the equalization board and open the city council at 6:33.
Can I get a second,
Second.
please? Thank you, Nick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are back in at 6:33 PM as city council. All right, number 9 on the agenda, municipal pool. Need a motion to approve hiring Sydney Kaiser and Tayton Broughton as first-year lifeguards at $12 per hour, effective immediately pending completion of certification.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring Sydney Kaiser and Tayton Broughton as first-year lifeguards at $12 per hour, effective immediately pending completion of certification.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we need a motion to approve hiring Jackson Meyer as first-year lifeguard at $12 per hour, effective immediately.
He should have been on the last agenda. I forgot.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring Jackson Myers first-year lifeguard at $12 an hour, effective immediately.
I'll second it.
Thank you both. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Lastly, for the municipal pool, we need to have a motion to approve hiring Emma Moeller and Paxton Moeller as first-year lifeguard WSI at $13 per hour, effective immediately pending completion of certification.
I'll make the motion to approve hiring Emma Moore and Paxton Moore as first-year lifeguard, WSI at 13 per hour, effective immediately, pending completion of certification.
I'll second.
Thank you both. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, number 10, golf course and city park.
While we're on the pool, can I give you a quick
Oh,
update?
yes, sorry.
Sorry. Just a quick update. Work continues to move forward rather quickly. Pending the outcome of the weather that's coming this way in the next 24 hours, they're hoping to cut the main drains of the big pool out this week, and if the weather cooperates, it's likely that they could pour the concrete sometime later next week.
I've noticed they put the.
The forms are all up and,
The, what are those
Skibbers?
mass skibbers?
yep, those
They
are
put
all in
new-
place.
yeah,
The rough-in plumbing for each of those is in. They're just waiting to cut the drains so they can put the new drains in, and then they'll pour all the concrete all at once. So hopefully by the end of next week, if weather cooperates and things go well.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you for that update. Okay, now we'll go on to number 10, golf course and city park. Need a motion to approve recommendation from Public Works Superintendent, which we do have an email in our packet from Lonnie discussing hiring Christy Burke for both the city park and golf course groundskeeper positions at an hourly rate of $15.83 per hour. He states that this will reduce the hours allowed for parks mowing in the budget from 300 hours to 265 hours, which is about 1 to 2 hours a week less for mowing time.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring Christy Burke as groundskeeper for the municipal golf course and city park at $15.83 an hour, effective immediately.
I'll second it.
Thank you both.
Do we still have the other two mowers too then that we approved or no?
Yes, yep, those are, one of them, OJ will be like 8 hours a week, covering weekends, and then Sean will be 6 to 8 hours a
Okay.
week. Just
I was
kinda help
reading that
offset
in
the other
old
guys.
news thing and I thought, well, they still do.
We'll still be within the budgeted hours of everybody. It's just we're adding a couple because they got other two guys that have been doing it for quite some time. Slowing down
And it helps with like time off and things like that too, right? Yeah.
Will she mow like down by the railroad tracks and that too then? Like
yeah,
short
so
end?
it'll be anything outside the golf course for the city property.
Okay.
Here, the park, the lot on Circle Drive, by the police station, down there, yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion beyond that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, any other updates on golf courses, city park at this time?
No
Oh,
carts
no.
on the golf course right now?
What's that?
No carts on golf?
No, after the rain last week, everything's so soft, he didn't want to tear it up, so at least for now, until it dries up a little bit and firms up. No carts on the course.
Cause there was some out there. I noticed.
Yeah, last week before we had that big rain. Other than that, they're still working on the new hole, working on cleaning everything up out of the course to get that ready for the season. The new rental carts are in and ready to go. They look really nice, so quite a few golfers have already seen them and are pretty impressed.
Memberships are starting to roll in.
Slowly, they're starting to come in. A lot of talk about and excitement about the course for this year, so.
Awesome. All right, number 11, the wastewater treatment facility. Need a motion to approve paying Banner Associates invoice number 44628 in the amount of $2,256.45 for work completed through February 22nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve paying Banner Associates invoice number 44628 in the amount of $2,256.45 for work completed through February 22nd, 2025.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion on that?
Are they about done?
They are, there was a few things on the punch list that couldn't be completed until
Oh,
after
okay.
winter was over.
Okay,
So, but it is winding down. There will be one last pay app once everything else on the punch list is completed, but they're holding that back until the last of it's complete.
okay.
Next meeting, if any of the council members would like to do a walk around at the sewer plant, Lonnie would be more than willing to meet you there, and kind of show you around and show you what that $5 million did. If you want to meet him there at 5 or shortly after, just let me know a couple of days ahead of time and I can let him know to expect you.
All right, motion on the table right now, paying Banner Associates Invoice number 44628 in the amount of $2,256.45 for work completed through February 22nd, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, number 12, the sanitary sewer collection system. Need a motion to approve Payne Banner Associates invoice number 44632 in the amount of $10,278 for work completed through February 22nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve Payne Banner Associates invoice number 44632 in the amount of $10,278 for work completed through February 22nd, 2025.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Construction plans for that are ongoing. They should be completed within the next month or two, and ready for bidding the actual repair work. Ready to send out bids sometime this summer with construction to be done and completed late summer through fall. Oh, my least favorite one.
But, all right, number 13, Finance Office, 2024 Annual Report. What you got for us, Dave?
The annual report.
Anything you want to
should-
explain on there?
Nope. If you guys have a chance to look through it, and ask any questions. It has been submitted to Department of Legislative Audit and accepted. Any questions? You will see on the last page front, under the enterprise funds, the overall operating loss for water stemming from, pretty much all of it is from the water meter upgrade project. Because the surcharge wasn't enough to cover all of the expenses for that. So that's where that big one came from. And then the sewer project with the change orders and all that stuff. So.
Anybody have any questions?
We kind of expected that, didn't we?
Correct.
Kinda?
And now that that's over, and the April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the auditors will be here to begin the 2024 audit. They will be here for 3 days of fun times. So looking forward.
What's your favorite time of the year?
I love audits. They're my favorite.
Checks and balances.
And we don't need a motion or anything on that because it has already been approved by the legislature, so. Wanna B, March records destruction list. I can't talk.
It's a little bit longer list. It's not as, there's not as many records, but it's more split up because there's such a different difference for you. But that is the last of it. Pretty much all of the filing cabinets have gone through except for 2. But again, I can't thank Christy enough for all of her work and helping me get through this. So
Yes.
it's so funny.
It looks very nice. I'll make a motion to approve the March record destruction list.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, number 14, Pleasant Hill Cemetery. Need a motion to approve Jim Quick purchasing a sign for the cemetery entrance with the city staff installing the sign on the existing
Entrance posts.
posts, I guess? Is that what we're calling? Columns, yeah.
Or brick calls.
Yes,
Great count.
yes.
I'll make a motion to approve Jim Quick purchasing the sign for the cemetery entrance with the city staff installing the sign on the brick columns.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, number 15, Sioux Metro Growth Alliance. Dave, what do you got for an update on us for that?
So, a couple meetings ago, a gentleman from Sioux Metro were here to discuss with you. Knowing that it wasn't on the budget, you asked me to investigate if we could get our membership sponsored for this year. I did reach out to Southeastern and Mid-American Energy. Unfortunately, they were not in a position because of their dues and everything they had going on to sponsor the city. I next had a conversation with the Elsister Community Foundation, and they did vote to approve covering the membership dues for the city for 2 years. The way they're proposing to do it is they'll cover our dues this year, and then at the end of this year, if the city council feels that we got our value out of the membership, then they would cover our dues for 2026 as well. So, with your approval.
So first, we need a motion to approve membership for 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the membership to the Sioux Metro Growth Alliance for 2025.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, we have to designate an official representative.
So, as members, every city has a member and an alternate that serve on the membership advisory board with, I think it was semi-annual meetings that the advisory board meets. I can't remember if it was annual or
I
semi-annual.
think it's semi-annual.
The first one is last week.
We missed that one.
Is that anyone on the council, or is it,
Anybody you designate.
I didn't know if they suggested,
They didn't have any suggestions.
Okay.
So it could be you,
yeah, it could be me.
and it could be you.
If you so choose.
Where do they usually hold them, or they?
It rotates.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Could the person both go?
Oh,
yeah, there's nothing saying that they couldn't both go. It's just,
right.
if the primary one, it would just be making sure you always have somebody that's available to go. So,
Is it during the day typically?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I think this one that we got the email on was late afternoon, and then went on, they had the meeting to kind of towards the, like they had a social hour in the late afternoon, and then their meeting, and then like a meet and greet, something afterwards that went into like till like 6 o'clock,
A mixer.
something like that, yeah.
Now, this is just an off-the-cuff thought, but as the alternative one, should it be someone who gave us the money? But from that, I don't know, I'm just wondering. Would that be a benefit, or leave it in the city?
I'd say leave it in the city, only because, well, for one, we didn't talk to them beforehand, you know? That's
We're
kind
getting the
of,
benefit, no.
yeah, we are getting the benefit. They're basically just our sponsor for this.
That, I'm
You
just
know.
thinking,
Which you could redesignate somebody at the beginning of next year.
when we know
Choose.
more, yeah.
So, yeah, just need a motion
Does it
for
value to designate?
designee. Huh? I don't have to do it, do I? Do I designate
What?
someone? No.
Whoever makes
The
the
council
whoever
makes
makes
the
the
motion.
motion.
Yeah.
Well, I make a motion to designate Dave as the official representative with Lisa as the alternative.
That's gonna go, I thought it was gonna go.
Mayor Lisa. Because you work. that's
I
what
have-
think.
I have one, oh, I don't know. Can we, I have a
can do that.
weird off the cusp question. If it was something like they have, like, let's say that their one semi-annual thing is on June 14th, which we will be in
Both have.
Rapid City, for Emma's wedding. Could we send someone else? They don't care, right? Okay, it's not like written in stone kind of thing?
I don't think they're gonna kick us out or anything.
No.
As long as they have their money, I'm sure.
Okay, so Darla's motion is to designate Dave as official representative with myself as the alternate representative.
If you do better, I can do it too.
Or do you want to have Kendra as an alternative instead of me?
I just don't know about people's work.
Right. Yep, is that,
I can do it.
So you'll do it?
yeah, that's what she said.
So she would need to change her motion.
Okay, I'll change my motion to designate Dave as the official representative with Kendra as the alternative representative for the SMGA Membership Advisory Board.
All right, can I get a second, please?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations. I will be involved in it too, as much as you need me to as well, because I know that from seeing things that Beersford is doing with this organization, it's heavy
You're gonna be
mayoral
involved
influence.
regardless.
Yeah, exactly, so
You have a choice.
I might be at these things regardless, so who knows? All right, number 16. We have in our packet a letter from the Union County Fair Board requesting sponsorship for 2025. In 2024, we did a $500 sponsorship, which is a silver sponsorship.
That's what we had done the year prior as well.
Okay, so that seems to be what that's the
Going rate.
main one that we've sponsored at that level.
I'll make a motion to approve paying a $500 sponsorship to the Union County Fair for 2025.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You'll get that check to them and whatnot, perfect. All right, number 17 is 304 Circle Drive, and Dave has information on this appraisal.
So you had approved having that property appraised. There was an interested party in purchasing it. This party came back after the last meeting and asked what your decision was. They are still interested in purchasing the property, as we discussed last time. So in discussing with the attorneys, it's just like when the bar building was sold last year. You would need to approve listing it with the realtor. And then it'd be open for anyone to bid on, or to put an offer on, for the council to accept at that point, so. Their interest is still in putting garages on it for use of the apartments across the road. So they're aware of, you know, the drainage issues there and all that stuff. And that's why I'm glad if it happens that we have a building inspector now.
So what's the money amount that a person needs then?
We have to pick how much we want to list it for,
Yeah.
so the appraised value is 19,250.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you choose to do this, you would just need to list who, like a realtor that you would wanna list it with, and a price that you would wanna set the price at. And then once you've done that, if it's approved, I could reach out to your chosen realtor tomorrow and get that ball rolling like we did last year with the bar building downtown.
So if they don't want to pay that, then what?
They can make an offer, just like when you sold the bar building last year, they can make any offer, like any real estate transaction. The council, it's council's option to choose whatever
What,
offer you, if you
kind of
get,
like that lot over there?
yeah, if you would get more than one offer, then you could choose whichever offer you would.
And if we don't want any of them, we can deny it
You
and list
can-
it at a
yeah.
different price, right?
You can
Do whatever.
do whatever you want.
This is not the battle of the highest bid.
Correct.
I'm going to make a motion to approve listing 304 Circle Drive with Berkshire Hathaway, Sean Jeed as a realtor for $20,000.
I'll second.
20,000.
Yes. Any further discussion?
Brian seconded.
Brian?
Brian seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I will call Sean tomorrow and get the ball rolling on that for you.
Sean's really good at getting a lot involved in our community stuff, so I think he'll be a good person to work with on this project as well. All right, next up is reminders. So the next council meeting will be Monday, April 7th, 2025, and that is the start of our 1 times per month. And that will be, unfortunately, unless she changes her mind, Darla's last meeting on the council. She still has time.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, so,
No, just tell them we're cutting back half.
and that'll still remain at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. I just keep it for
The
some reason.
city park fundraiser is scheduled for Friday, April 11th, 2025 at the Morningside Event Center, and it is going over really well. We have 6 tables left out of 30. If we fill those 6 tables, it will be sold out.
And that would put us at 240 people. Right now, we're sitting right at about 190 tickets sold.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tickets are $50 per person, or you can get a table of 8 for $400, which is the same as $50 per person, because we didn't want to do a discount. We didn't want to make it that way because of, if it was just a single person wanting a ticket, you know? Yeah, dueling pianos and catered meal from Central Catering. And I'm gonna try to talk Kathy, Joseph, yeah, into concocting some kind of dessert for us. So.
If you're watching, Kathy, you don't know that yet.
More to come on that.
And we'll have something from the master plan of the park on the overhead
Yep.
until the dueling piano starts.
We've gotten quite a few businesses in the area to sponsor tables. So they'll have some recognition as well. So, yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a fun time. Spring cleanup days, Friday, March 2nd through Monday, May 12th.
May 2nd,
What did I say?
March.
Oh,
That'd be a long time.
it's a lot of cleanup.
People in town would love it.
I would actually love that, yeah. Okay, so Friday, May 2nd through Monday, May 12th. There you go.
3 dumpsters, 2 full weekends. The metal scrapping lady will be back.
Yes.
Does it
Does it
take
I met her. She's very, very
appliances?
nice lady.
Yes, they will take appliances, anything metal that cannot go in the dumpster, put off, except for tires, can go off to the side. Lonnie and the guys will put a sign up where to put it, and she will haul it away for us.
So like old computer, would they take that? Or a microwave?
Microwave, yes.
Microwave, yes, the computer, I believe, can go in the dumpster.
Yeah, I can't remember how that worked last year.
I think they can go in the dumpster.
Okay.
Yeah. We do need a motion to enter executive session pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2-2-1.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to SDCL 1-25-21.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are in executive session at 7:01 PM.
Out of
All right, we are out of executive session at 7:40 PM, and we only need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 7:40 PM.